Kwesi Adofo-Mensah did it again. Not in a good way. We're going to be talking about it on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up, we are going to look at how bad Kwesi has been as the Vikings GM. And I will stand on this take. He has been the worst GM in the National Football League since he has taken over this team in 2022. We'll discuss that. But the most recent move on failed Kwesi moves. Today, the Minnesota Vikings waived wide receiver Adam Thielen. Now, not too big of a deal. Adam Thielen put out a statement that he went to Kevin O'Connell. He said, I want a bigger role in this offense. The Vikings obviously could not deliver that to number 19. So Thielen, he wanted to go play for a contender. He wanted a bigger role. And he said this is the last season of his NFL career, so he wants to at least do something and be on the football field for his last season. But this trade in the offseason, and I will hold myself accountable here first. I was all in for Thielen coming back again. I think my emotions get the better of me. And also Thielen was productive in Carolina his 2 years there. But, I mean, guys, the Vikings gave up a 2026 fifth-round pick and a 2027 fourth-round pick. Now, you got a seventh and a fifth back, but still, you necessarily gave up a fourth-round pick for Adam Thielen. A fourth-round pick for Adam Thielen. And now he is cut, and it is December 1st. That is that bad. And it's just one of the many moves where Kwesi has completely messed it up. So I'll ask you guys this. I'm honestly shocked he hasn't been fired already. You guys let me know your thoughts. Should the Vikings fire Kwesi? If you think yes, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon for us. And if you guys disagree with me and you think maybe it's the coaching staff's more fault, comment why down below. If you're going to make that argument, probably going to be saying guys like Ed Ingram, Garrett Bradbury, Mekhi Blackman, guys who Kwesi, obviously not Bradbury, who he drafted, but Ingram and Blackman, they leave the Vikings. They're balling on other teams. So I think you could make an argument on that he shouldn't be fired, but I think he 100% should. So you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now we're going to break this show up into three categories here. We're going to go back and first just look at the draft classes because they are just historically bad, and we all know this. And then I do want to focus in here on 2024 free agency and talk about some of the awful decisions Kwesi made. And then I do want to talk about the horrible extensions here. But we're going to start off with the draft classes because obviously when Kwesi took over back in 2022, they had that draft where they had the 12th overall selection, ended up moving down to pick number 32, and they drafted, it just started off with one of the biggest busts of all time. Lewis Cine. So that's a bust. Andrew Booth Jr., that's a bust. Ed Ingram, he's playing good football at the Texans, but with the Minnesota Vikings, chalk him up to a bust. Brian Asamoah was cut earlier on this offseason. Caleb Evans, not on the team. Easy E in round 5. Not a good pick. Ty Chandler, I guess that's an okay round 5 pick. Verdarian Lowe, one of the worst linemen in the league. Jalen Naylor, probably the best pick out of this draft class, but that's it. Like the best pick out of this draft class was Jalen Naylor in the 6th round. And then in 2023, yes, give him credit for Jordan Addison, but I'm not giving him a ton of credit. Like the receivers drafted around Addison, it was Jackson Smith, it was Zay Flowers. Like you really couldn't mess that pick up. And then in round 3, took Mekhi Blackman. We traded him for a 6th-round pick this year. And Mekhi Blackman's actually playing good football in Indianapolis. Jay Ward, it's tough for him to get on the field. Jacqueline Roy, I don't even think he played a snap for the Minnesota Vikings. And Jaron Hall, that was a waste of a 5th-round pick. I mean, the fact that you took Jaron Hall in round 5 is quite embarrassing. And Dwayne McBride, he didn't suit up a game for the Vikes. So this draft class, besides Jordan Addison, a complete bust. Well, how about in 2024? J.J. McCarthy, call it like it is right now, probably looks like a bust. Now, I will say Dallas Turner coming on over the last couple of weeks, that's looking like a good selection. We got Walter Rouse, you got Will Reichard, Michael Jervins, Levi Drake Rodriguez. Honestly, the draft class we're seeing right now might be Kwesi's best draft class because you at least got 2 guys who are playable, or 3 guys who are playable, in Turner, Reichard, and Levi Drake Rodriguez, but still a lot of misses. And then this year, Donovan Jackson's a good pick, but you spent your 3rd-round pick on a gunner. Ty Felton doesn't play. He's a special teams guy, and you took him in the last pick of the 3rd round. Call that a waste of a draft pick. Tiernan Ingram-Dawkins, jury's still out on him. Kobe King. Do you guys know what team Kobe King is on right now? He's on the New York Jets. The Vikings cut him. Gavin Bartholomew hasn't suited up this year. And there is no doubt in my mind, like he has been the worst drafting GM in the NFL since 2022. You can call it like it is. Yes, he has a couple splashes here and there, like Reichard late in the 6th round, Levi Drake Rodriguez in the 7th. Like there are some, good draft picks there, but it gets back to this. Like it is truly impossible to consistently win year over year in the NFL if you can't draft. Because like the Vikings, you can go have a big free agency. You can go, buy some players on the market. You can trade for some guys. You can construct a decent enough roster to go and win games. But if you can't consistently draft well, just year over year, eventually you're going to have a year like the Vikings did this year where it's like, man, we're looking at the depth on this team, and it's like, there's a lot of holes. The secondary, how many misses did you guys see at the cornerback position and all those graphics we just showed you? A whole lot. So it's just impossible to consistently win year over year if you just can't draft in the NFL. And I'm not trying to get a joke out of this. Like, I truly do believe this. His best draft pick was a kicker in the 6th round. If screw that. His best move as the GM was taking Will Reichert in the 6th round. If that's like your biggest move, your best move you made, you're probably a terrible GM. And he is a terrible GM. And it's just sad. It's just sad where we are. So we'll talk about free agents. We talk about all that coming up. But if you guys are subscribed to the channel, if you guys could, hit me with a skull down below in the comment section. I want to give you guys a future shout-out on a future show. Just hit me with those skulls down below in the comment section. And we'll show you guys some love here on a future show at Vikings Now. Now, before we dive into the rest of today's episode, I do want to give a massive shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. It is the holiday season, and it's the best time of year for sports. You got bowl games, basketball and football matchups, playoff pushes. It is all happening at once. And when you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that's Prize Picks. If you guys download the Prize Picks app today, plug in promo code CONS. We'll hook you guys up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, Prize Picks has a new feature out right now called Early Payouts. And if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. In Prize Picks, it's super simple to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 player stats. And if you guys get your picks right, you could cash in. So download the Prize Picks app today. Plug in that promo code CONS. We'll hook you guys up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. But shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, let's talk about this past year's free agency class because it has been flat out horrible. All 5 of these are horrible contracts. These are the 5 biggest contracts, and literally all 5 of them are horrible deals. Jonathan Allen gave him $60 million over 3 seasons. Javon Hargrave, $30 million over 2 seasons. Ryan Kelly, 18 for 2. Will Fries might be the worst of the bunch. $88 million over 5 years. Isaiah Rodgers, if you take out that Bengals game, how he's been playing of late, he's a damn near unplayable corner. So your 5 biggest moves this offseason in terms of free agency all suck. And what is also, I think, almost saving Kwesi a little bit here is even, let's just say, J.J. McCarthy, he was playing like a top 12 quarterback, and he was fantastic. The roster has regressed around him. Like, we have seen even Justin Jefferson take a step back, Jordan Addison take a step back, T.J. Hawkinson's a shell of himself. But defensively, like, I think we would have been giving more attention to guys like Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, like even Will Fries on the offensive line, Ryan Kelly. Like, I think almost with how bad the quarterback play has been, people aren't really looking too much into, like, okay, let's actually go back and look at, like, the free agency signings the Vikings made this past year because all the attention's on the quarterback position. Yes, the quarterback position has been bad, but there are other major issues on this team. And what's also concerning about how Kwesi set up the books here, he backloaded these contracts. This is just for the year of 2026. Jonathan Allen, $21.6 million. Javon Hargrave, $21.49 million. T.J. Hawkinson, $21.35. Byron Murphy, $20. Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is on the books for $15 million next year. And you got Will Fries on the books for $17 million. I mean, think about this. Left side of the screen, you got $63 million on 3 guys who are damn near unplayable. And then you got Byron Murphy for 20 and Aaron Jones for 15 and then Will Fries for 18. Like, it's truly incredible how bad the Vikings are set up financially because of what Kwesi did. And I feel bad for the fans, but I mainly feel bad for number 18. Justin Jefferson, he is an all-time talent. And the fact that we are at the point where people are saying, like, oh, Jefferson might not even be a top 3 receiver in the league anymore, the Vikings should be embarrassed about that. That is on the organization. That's not on Jefferson at all. Now, yes, has he been like who he was back in 2022 or the season he even had last year? He went for 1,500 yards. No. He's definitely taking a slight step back, but Jefferson taking a slight step back is still the best wide receiver in the damn NFL. So I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for Jefferson, but what also the one move that really grinds my gears this offseason is this one. Is the Josh Oliver 3 years, $23 million. When the Vikings gave him this contract, I specifically remember saying in the video, you know what? That is proof to me that Kevin O'Connell's changing his ways. Because you just gave $23 million to a run-blocking tight end. Well, why would you do that? Oh, maybe because you're going to get more, 2 tight end sets this year. You're going to get downhill. But now you got Josh Oliver with a big contract, plus TJ Hawkinson getting $20 million. But KOC can't change his ways. So it's kind of like twofold here. Kwesi, why did you give Josh Oliver that contract? But since you did give him that contract, Kevin O'Connell, let's use him. He is one of the best run-blocking tight ends. Let's go use that physicality and that toughness that he brings. So it's both of them. The marriage, it's not there. There is some disconnect between the front office, the coaching staff, and the roster. In the Vikings, there's no doubt. They have an 80% chance to get a top 10 pick this year. You cannot let Kwesi control another draft. Because it's not just a top 10 pick in round 1. The top 10 pick in round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can't let him control another offseason because the offseason he just had this past year set this franchise back 5 years. Wherever we thought we were at the end of last season, we have set ourselves back 5 years. We aren't even close to winning a Super Bowl, and that's what's so concerning now because you got your head coaches on the hot seat. You got the worst quarterback situation in the world. You spent $350 million in cash on this roster next year, so you're screwed for the next year with a lot of bad contracts. It's because of this guy and because of the head coach. And with how bad the last 10 months have been, I think they should both go. I think it is a historically just bad 10 months for a franchise, not just Minnesota Vikings franchise, like all NFL franchises. It has been that bad. They should both go. You should promote Brian Flores. You should go get another OC, go get another GM, and whatever they want to do with the quarterback, they figure it out. Because I promise you, with those two calling the shots in this organization, you can win regular season games, have a lot of fun in October, November, September. But when December and January roll around and big boy football is going to need to be played, the Vikings can't compete. And it starts at the top. It starts with the GM. It goes down to the head coach. I think they should both be gone. You guys let me know. Who is more to blame, Kevin O'Connell or Kwesi Adofo-Mensah? Here's some of your thoughts down below in the comment section. If I'm giving an answer to this is tough for me. I'd go 60% Kwesi, and then I'd go 40% Kevin O'Connell. But you guys let me know your thoughts. More to blame. Drop those thoughts down below. We'll get on out of here. As always, let's go Vikes.